second here. Can you actually hear me now? Yay? Sound? Okay. Alright. Yeah, I have no idea what was going on there. Somebody in chat mentioned that I should be doing sign language, fake sign language, like what happened to our poor president recently. And I was only happy to oblige. You can hear me all right. Fantastic. And the music in the background is loud enough for you folks. Great. Great. So hopefully your lag is not too bad. How many of you guys have lag? Hopefully no one. Alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I made a slight boo-boo when I tweeted out that the show was going to be number 230. It is actually, in fact, number 229. You can't hear the music? Alright. Here we go. I turned it up a little bit. It is actually episode 229. I have no idea the episodes these days. They just sort of come and go, and I keep losing track of them. So, thank you, Baldox. Who was it that was keeping track? You educated me. I'm glad. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a little under the weather. You can probably hear it in my voice. Sinuses and throats and chest and all of that jazz. But I will soldier on. That's right, this is Scotch and Smoke Rings, and it cannot be done unless I am here, sitting before this camera in my throne. So I'm just going to have to power through the sickness. I'm going to have to take a cigar and some scotch as medicine to get me through. Right? That's the way I'm going to think about it anyway. But if I start coughing in fits of coughingness, then you'll just have to be patient and to understand my unfortunate malady. Oh, things are going crazy. Bob Saget says, I keep getting buffering issues. Well, I hope that you do not have that for the whole show. We've got a great show for you today. I've got an excellent cigar. We've got gifts from fans. We've got donations received. And it's Christmas. It's getting close, right? You can't get much better than Christmas. My favorite season of the year. Ed Dudersman says, I get sad because I have a job that denies me from watching Scotch and Smoke Rings, and I can't even watch more than the intro. Well, I'm so glad that you're here right now. You'll have to watch the replay later. A lot of people in the Scotch and Smoke Rings chat. Talander is here. Pleasure to see you, good sir. Lawman Z says, very nice to see you. Steak is good to eat. Those are that's a very true statement. I plan on devouring an entire cow after this show as part of my medicine regime to get better from my cold. Did you know the cold virus's worst enemy is cow meat? This is fact. Trust Oxhorn. William Moore says, I must say the video quality is fantastic this week. Good. Good. I certainly hope so, and I certainly hope that people's internet connections are not lagging because of them. So, I'm glad some people are at least able to enjoy the quality. Odie is here and says, finally I'm able to see Oxhorn again, even though I miss a night of sleep. But it's totally worth it. I agree, right? I mean, sleep. What? You can sleep every day. What is one night of sleep compared to Oxhorn every week? Right? You're making an educated gamble. Seriously. Unless, of course, you have a job or school in the morning. In which case, hey, you're making sacrifices. So am I. I'm going to be smoking a cigar with sinuses filled with all sorts of nastiness. Hey, this is what I do. This is what I do. So, no, but first, before I light this thing up, before I light this thing up, I gotta say, amazing donations from the fans. Last week and the week before that, we got some fantastic donations from IMJJ Fish Truck. You, sir, are an awesome sponsor of the show. Stacy White did a donation as well. You, madam, are a fantastic sponsor of the show. Thank you so much. And then Rolleron sent me a surprise. For those of you who know, this is my favorite cigar in the world, the Egg Maduro by Drew Estate. Wow, it's acting as a mirror. You can see everything. Yeah, this is my favorite cigar in the world. Thank you very much, Rolleron, for your amazing donation. And he sent a letter. I took a photo of it and put it up on Twitter, but I'll read it for you anyway. So there's his human. One Egg Maduro delivered straight to Seattle via Hugh Mail. After being away from the show and the internet in general for such a copious amount of time, I do believe a classy return is in order. Glad to be back, Ox and friends. Regards, Rolleron. P.S. Happy Thanksgiving to all. So I made a boo-boo. I let this sit in my P.O. box for weeks. He probably sent this around Thanksgiving, and I just now discovered it. So I'm not going to be smoking this tonight. Even though it's wrapped in a nice plastic wrap, I'm going to put it in my humidor and let it soak up a bunch of humidity just the way it's supposed to. Tonight, instead, I'm going to save this for a special occasion. Maybe the 5-year anniversary show. Can you believe that we've been doing this show for 4 years? And that the 5-year anniversary show is in months? Right? I can hardly believe it. But today I'm going to be smoking a Perdomo Lot 23... made in Nicaragua by the Tabacalera Perdomo S.A. Company. I have no idea what that is, but the wrapper looks nice, yeah? I know you can't see it. Turned off autofocus. Yeah, that's what I'm doing all night tonight. So you're just going to have to get used to it. My apologies in advance. If I cough up a lung, you might want to call the paramedics and just say, go to Oxhorn's house in Seattle. He coughed up a lung. You might need to stuff it back in for him. And I'm sure they'll do just that. Shout Class. By the way, I butcher people's names, so my apologies ahead of time. I think I'm saying it right. Shout Class says, very classy. My classy aura has been depleted from not watching for about a year. Indeed, that is probably exactly what has happened. So you're just going to have to come here every Thursday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time and get your class ration from yours truly. El Toro Guaco saying using a lighter, Oxhorn, shame on you. Normally, yes, but this is a special lighter. I'm using a particular kind of butane that burns clean. It does not negatively affect the taste of the tobacco. Ironbark says, well, in year 6, once the college nightmare is over, I should be back here every week to fight, chat, crime. Good evening, folks. Glad to see you guys. Pleasure to have you back, Ironbark. I realize that you've got a busy life, and that is good. It is good to have a busy life, but we're so glad to have you here. All the regulars are in chat today. Oh, fantastic. And my cigar is not burning the way I want it to, so let me try and touch it up just a little bit. William Moore says, hopefully it's a bacon-wrapped cow. Of course, right? I mean, beef may be the cure of the common cold. Oxhorn said it first, ladies and gentlemen. But pork is the cure of lame flavor. So there you go. Just wrap it in bacon. That fixes everything. William Moore says, dear Sir Oxhorn, my mother, who watches the show with me, is amazed by your dapper apparel tonight. Why, thank you, good sir and fine madam, for your compliments. This is actually my day-to-day get-up. My out-to-do attire. I got a compliment on this shirt today. Somebody called me fuzzy, and I think that's a compliment. right? Alright, good. Talander asks, Oxhorn, with the holidays just around the corner, I was wondering if you have a good nog recipe. And lol, Manzi seconded that motion. Yes, here is my nog recipe. Straight from Oxford, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. Take a big vat, right? It's a glass vat. Crack open a dozen eggs and pour them in the vat. Stir them up, get them nice and mixed. Then get some nutmeg. Just sprinkle a little nutmeg on there. Then get a bottle of scotch and dump the entire bottle of scotch in there. Then you're going to want to take an entire slab of bacon. Put that on a George Foreman grill or something. Grill it all up nice and crispy. And then dump the crispy pieces and the fat in a blender with the eggs and the scotch and the nutmeg. And, you know, blend it all up into a nice thick paste. You might want to cut it with a little bit of water and then chill it overnight. But that is Oxhorn eggnog. So, my recipe, it's going to be on the next Gordon Ramsay show. So you saw it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers. Today we are drinking Scoresby Scotch. For those of you who know, who were here last week, I just got over a sickness. And now I'm going through another sickness, which I guess it's just seasonal. So, apparently when you get sick, your tolerance to scotch is lowered. Last week when I was doing the show, you guys will have to watch the replay, I could barely keep my scotch down. And I've been doing this show, pardon me, for like 4 years now. And I've never had a problem with drinking my scotch. It's true, I am drinking a bottom shelf scotch. It's Scoresby. It's an $11 bottle. Not the most expensive bottle in the world. But it's still not really horrible. And I've had it with no problems in the past. But for some reason last week, boy, I was having a rough time. So, cross your fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if I can do this in a masterful way. There we go. So far, so good. The first little taste is good. Then there's the fire that goes down your throat. Oh, that just makes it even better. Whew. Perfect thing for a guy who's got a cold. Scotch and cigars. William Moore says, what about your Kodo eggnog, Oxhorn? That's right. I almost forgot about my Kodo eggnog. What show was that? That was... I recorded myself creating the Kodo eggnog at the end of which movie? Was it Inventing Swearwords 2 or Drunken Kodo Riding? I forget which one it is, but you're right. Drunken Kodo eggnog. Or, Kodo eggnog. There you go. Red asks a pertinent question. Oxhorn, have you ever thought about braiding your beard? Yes. I actually tried to braid it a few weeks ago. And by I mean my beautiful wife. She braided it for me. She parted it here in the middle. And then we had a nice braid going down here. And then a nice braid going down here. Wait, I did it wrong. Anyway, so we had a nice braid going on. And then I took some photos. But the problem is when you braid a beard like this, it loses a lot of its volume. So it didn't really look good. It just kind of looked like two little tufts sticking out of my chin. It was fairly bizarre. But I plan on going through the process eventually and recording exactly how it went and making a blog post on growabeardnow.com with tips on how to braid a beard. Evil Tyler 15 says, hey Oxhorn, did you get the Mists of Pandaria code in your email? I did. Thank you very much, Evil Tyler 15. I was given a gift copy of Mists of Pandaria, which is great because I haven't purchased it to date. So thank you very much. I now have the ability to log in and play Mists of Pandaria. Thank you very much. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for fan art. And boy, do we have a lot of it today. So, as soon as my computer stops lagging, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what we have today. Okay, this was submitted by Christina, and it's titled, I didn't know there was a word for it, and it's on cheeseburger.com. And let's see. Mustache on a Pikachu. The correct term is Pikastache. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know what the correct term was, you now do. So there you go. Thank you for that one, Christina. We all needed to know about the Pikastache. Patrika, aka Shauna Dockstetter, shows us this one. Canadian camouflage. Exactly. The fine gentleman has his beard encrusted with frost, and there's no better way to go. Ryu is sharing us some sage advice. What do you call a man without a mustache? A little boy. All right then. We're learning things here at ScotchandSmokedrinks.com. Nathaniel Fury decided to show us his character from Guild Wars 2. And apparently it is some sort of horned cat creature called a Char Warrior. And the caption reads, "True, I may look the part of a dashing individual, but don't let my looks fool you, because I can just as easily crush a human's head like a walnut with my two-handed mace. So never mess with this char of a classy man. That Oxhorn would really approve of even interior." Yeah, this has a whole lot of references I do not understand, but I think that this was well put together, so thank you, good sir, for your submission. Then there is this by Evan Dale, and it's entitled The Youngest Santa. A cute photo of a baby showing off his Santa faces in the bath today. Yes, look at that. He's got bubbers on his chin. And he is a baby Santa. Very cute. He's growing a beard early, I can see. Good for him. Now, Pat Dagita decided to tell us exactly how to pronounce his name. So here we go. Dagita. Oh, what was that? Pat Dagita? Let's hear that again. Dagita. Dagita. So I've been pronouncing it wrong this entire time. My apologies, Pat. Alright, so I'll say Pat Dagita from now on. Thank you for the correction. And then Pat Dagita decided that he was going to share my baby photos. And apparently this is what I looked like as a baby. Which makes sense because I was fully bearded as a young child. And then there's this, also by Ryu, and it is a funny cat mustache. This little girl has a better mustache than me. That's a pretty epic mustache on this kitty cat, I have to say. If I had a cat, I wish it had a mustache like that. Eric has decided to make a Christmas card for the fans, and it says, "Merry Christmas from Eric Griffith," and these are his characters dressed out in Christmas regalia behind a collection of very beautiful Christmas trees. Thank you for that, Eric. Very nicely done. Then there's this by Eric also, and it is a Christmas carol. Let's open it up and take a look at it. So, Greg McLovin Hartung as Scrooge's nephew. McLovin right here. So, by the way, a lot of inside jokes coming for those who are not regular attendees of the show. Nova as Mrs. Cratchit, and Gavin as Tiny Tim. Okay. Oxhorn as Bob Cratchit, Mortus as The Undertaker, cute little hardcore kitten as Jacob Marley, Ecclesia as Scrooge's sweetheart Belle, Shawarma as Ebenezer Scrooge. Alright, there you go, Shawarma, you're Ebenezer Scrooge. Autumn as the Ghost of Christmas Past, Staghorn as the Ghost of Christmas Present, and Doomageddon as the ghost of Christmas future. Nicely done, good sir. Pardon me. And so then this is from last week. I'm just horrible at people's names. I've been calling John Gulbreth Bagely this entire time, but apparently it's Bagley, not Bagel-E. So, my bad. And then we had this submitted, the McBagel. So if Greg McLovin Hartung were to merge with John Gulbreth Bagely, I guess they would become the McBagel. Right? Alright, I don't know. And then there's this by Autumn, which is really cute. She took a photo of my baby boy Gavin and did some original fan art in an anime style. Here's my Christmas gift to both Brandon and Jody. I hope they like it, even though I screwed up on the colors, so sorry about that. The colors are great. Gavin, anime style. This was originally Greg Hartung's idea, so I figured I'd give it a go. Thank you so much, Autumn. This is really adorable, and Jody really liked it. Then there's this, a buddy of mine who's involved in indie games here in Seattle. His company just released a new game on Steam called Not the Robots. And it's the slogan is the best furniture eating game around, because apparently the point is that you're a robot and you have to sneak through an office building eating furniture. Yes, that is the point of this game. Let's read. You are a robot in an office building. You have to eat furniture and not get caught. Okay. This is the year's most exciting roguelike stealth furniture eating simulator. I have to admit, that's probably very true. There are no other furniture eating simulators that I could say are better than this one. So congratulations, gentlemen, on making this year's best furniture eating simulator. So I'll share the link for those of you who are interested in it. It's on Steam right now. Oh, it's not letting me share it on Twitch. Oh, come on, guys. Really? Alright, sorry, Twitch folks. I can't share the link on Twitch. But I did share it at scotchandsmokerings.com. It's called, if you want to Google it, Not the Robots. It's on Steam. Alright, Gulbreth says that there's about 3 pieces of fan art that were submitted right before the show. Alright, let me check it out real quick. I go through the page right before the show, and I save all of the fan art. Oh, you're right. There are a few more pieces. Okay. You guys... Man, I've got this cough. You guys keep on submitting so late. Alright, let's check this out. And bam! Here we go. Okay, so what's this? This is by Steven. I could not wait until next Halloween to post this, he says. Pardon me. So let's check it out. Oxhorn meets Oxhorn, somewhere in Seattle. Hello, young sir. What a nice Halloween costume. Are you an alien? No, I'm Oxhorn, says this little creature. Did you know that I am Oxhorn, says Oxhorn. Didst thou knowest that this is Oxhorn, says a random voice. And then at the bottom, whoa! This Oxhorn meets this Oxhorn, and Martus and Staghorn, and says Lolpont. This is like a merging of worlds. It's like Inception. It's an Oxhorn within an Oxhorn. Oh my goodness! That's actually a really cool comic. Nicely done, Stephen. This is really cool. And then there's this by Gulbreth Bagley. Gnome heads skewered on some poles. Oh, that's great. This is from one of my Christmas songs. Elf ears roasting on an open fire. Just a little picture to continue this song from my last fan art. This is from the song Elf Ears Roasting. And some gnome heads skewered on some poles, as everybody knows. So thank you for that one. And then here's this one from Pat Dagida. Did I say it right? Or is it? It's not Dagida. It's Dagida. Okay. And apparently his XP said Leet. There it is. It says L-E-E-T. Leet right there. Well, I'm so glad that you caught that one, good sir. Thank you very much for sharing. Alright, done with the fan art. I think that is everything. Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be doing Hearthstone tonight because apparently there's a patch that I need to download, and I started trying to download it before the show, and it was lagging up my machine. So, not going to be doing that. Whoop. There we go. Yeah, sorry. Frame rate was going long, so I'm not going to be doing Hearthstone tonight because my machine's not set up for it. So, it's just me. We're 30 minutes in. We got 30 more minutes. We got cigars. We got scotch. I've barely touched this bad boy. Let's see how far we can get this thing down. The Dan Man says, "Hey, Oxhorn, can we get some geeky Christmas music playing?" I think I can do that. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, if for those of you who follow me on YouTube, on my Oxhorn YouTube channel, I just released a new video of all my Christmas music stacked together so that this Christmas season, instead of buying my album, which I still think you all should do, all you have to do is go onto YouTube, find the video, and click play, and my geeky Christmas music will play for you. So, fantastic suggestion. Thank you for that. There you go. There you go. Geeky Christmas music playing in the background. Slim Beam says Oxhorn wrote a book. Indeed he did, good sir. The Tale of Cloran Hastings. I have it with me today. A swashbuckling young adult fantasy adventure novel set on the high seas in a unique world of my own creation. There is adventure and piracy and mystery and magic. Available for a low price wherever fine books are sold. Meaning, of course, if they don't sell this book, they're not selling fine books. You can get it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, but more importantly, you can go to CloranHastings.com and find all my links there. Alright. The focus is off. Hold on a second. There we go. Brilliant. Off Night Shade says, "Oh, good news, Oxhorn. Your book is selling well in Alabama. It was sold out of BAM." Yes, I'm sure it was, because it was totally there to begin with. Aww. Off Night Shade says, "So I will have to order it, but will it be here before Christmas?" Yes, you have until, I think it's the 22nd to order it on Amazon for it to arrive on your doorstep before Christmas. So you've got a little bit of time. It's only the 12th today. I recommend you log into Amazon or Barnes & Noble. No, if you want the paperback, you have to go to Amazon. If you want the hardcover, go to Lulu. I've got the link up on my website. Order it today if you want it before Christmas. It makes a fantastic gift for any fantasy lover in your household. Brover says, "This is pretty neckbeardish." Indeed, good sir. I am not a fan of shaving one's neckbeard. You can hear my thoughts on bearding at growabeardnow.com, where I wax philosophical about the humble beard. But for those who decide to harm their beard by trimming their neckbeard off, hey, that's their choice. It's their beard. They can do with it as they see fit. But this bearded gentleman chooses not to shave his neckbeard, because I respect it too much. William Moore says, "Hey, Oxhorn, did you play the penny whistle I saw in I Saw Three Rogues?" Indeed, I did. In fact, the penny whistle I used is in my desk here somewhere. It's the same penny whistle I used in Rafflemow. But yeah, I did. Sleem Bean says, "Speaking of how to pronounce names, my nickname is pronounced Sleem Bean." Yes, I've told you all ahead of time, I don't know how to pronounce your handles. Okay, your online representations of them, of yourselves. I realize I picked an easy one, Oxhorn. It's hard to mess that up. But, I don't know. I'll do my best to use the appropriate diction from here on out. Malix says, I am a neckbeard myself. Only pansy beard growers shave their neckbeards. Indeed, good sir, you are a gentleman and a scholar. I tip my hat to you. Cheers. Whoa. Gosh darn it, I need to get... I spent all those years building up an immunity to Scotch. Like the Dread Pirate Roberts in A Princess Bride. And after being sick for 2 weeks, I lost it. I'm going to have to build it up again. Alright. El Toro Guaco says you pronounce mine pretty well. Good, I'm glad. Though I don't want you to pronounce my real name, he says. That would be bad. Look, if it's Swedish, I could probably do it. I was taught how to do Swedish pronunciations. So, but if it's not Swedish, you're right, I'll probably butcher it. Alright, tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open up Hearthstone, and I'm going to try and update the patch, or download the patch, because I know that you guys want to play with me, and that's half the fun, and I hate to disappoint. So, you need to... Otoro Aguaco says, well, it's Norwegian, close but not quite. Yeah, I realized that the O's have the slashes through them, and they're pronounced slightly differently. I think that the Norwegian O is that's akin to the Swedish with the dots on it. Anyway, I'm going to try and update in the background. If you start lagging, let me know quickly, and I'll just cancel it. But if you're not lagging, then I'll just let it update in the background, okay? Malik says you can always grow out your armpit hair, arm beards. Ew. And Alphanite Shade aptly says, ew. Well, yeah, look, one of the nice things about the human body is that body hair has a 3-month growth limit. It cannot grow longer than it does at 3 months. For some individuals, that means really, really, really long body hair. But for others, it means fairly short body hair. So I can promise you that when it comes to armpit hair, you will never have to worry about it getting too long. Alright, I'm going to dab my nose because it's a little wet, and you're not going to see it. I'm going to turn the camera. There you go. Take a look at that nice curtain there. Oh, man, it's so nice. It's a beautiful curtain. Oh, man. Sweet relief. Alright, hold on. There we go. There we go. No, I totally wasn't doing anything gross and disgusting. Those kind of things don't happen on classy shows like this. Just saying. Steph Sarch says, so there's no window behind that curtain? There is. It goes right to the street. I once tried to broadcast the show with the curtain open, but my neighbors would just walk by and stop and stare. I'm sitting in this room, smoking cigars, drinking scotch, talking a lot. Apparently to nobody. They don't know I'm streaming. I'm just talking to myself. They would look at me, and I'm like, yes, hi. Doing a show here. You're slightly distracting. All right. Have to close the drapes. Too late for last minute fan art, asks Chief Smash. Yes, it's too late for last minute fan art, but that doesn't mean you can't make it. Go ahead and make it and upload it to the Scotch and Smoke Rings Facebook fan group and share it with everybody there. They'll give you wonderful comments. It's a great little community there, and I will be sure to show it off next week, okay? Elizabeth is here and says that her dog says hi. Well, hello, dog. We love puppies. Incidentally, dog is one of the very few words that my little boy can say. He can say mama. He can say dada. Actually, he doesn't say dada. He goes da. But then he can say dog. Whenever he sees a dog, he goes dog, which is great. Of course, his favorite word is no. I am really pleased that I taught him that word at such a young age. Everything is no. He does not want to listen to me. If I'm taking away something he's playing with, no. Pat. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just exercising the demons. Patricia says, I'm like a country girl. I'm lucky to get any Oxhorn references. I'm not too much of a city slicker, am I? I mean, yes, I am on the West Coast. I live in Seattle. And I wear nice shoes. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have country roots, right? An affinity with the field folk. People mistake me for Amish and lumberjacks, right? I straddle both worlds, 1 foot in each realm. So, I'll share with you something that I've been having to deal with recently. This started when I uploaded my music videos to my Oxhorn account to share with you guys. Apparently, if you're a music publisher, the greatest YouTube strategy nowadays is to find indie music developers and indie music performers and just claim their music and say, this is my music and I want to monetize it. Apparently, you can do that, and you're not going to get in trouble. Now, there is a dispute process, and I've learned this because some company went by and claimed authorship of all my music. Right? The music that I made myself and sang with this throat. Somebody claimed it. And I am now having to go through a lengthy dispute process with YouTube. And one actually came by and said that I still couldn't claim one of my own songs unless I said it was a cover, and I split the profits with the company that's claiming my music. So this is the latest internet great scam, right? So wish me luck. I'm still trying to wrangle YouTube over this one. Fairly annoying. Goliath says, well, I must be off. Glad to have enjoyed at least the first half of your show with you fine fellows. Till next week, get better, Ox. Thank you very much. Pleasure to have had you. The Dan Man says it was the elves. Yeah, I'm going to have to blame elves and hippies. They are responsible for all the woes in the world. Yep. Ox wisdom. Mr. 8-Ball says, do you know the company that's claiming your treasures? Yeah, it's like ID something or other. I forget. I'm going through that process right now. It's rather annoying, but it'll all work out. Shawarma, you actually sound a lot like my boss. Shawarma says, YouTube is now under idiots. They hammered everyone this week, Oxhorn. One more reason the Google is the new evil. I actually just sat down and had a conversation with my boss, and I'm the Google expert at the office, and we were having a conversation about Google, and he does not like me to refer to Google with any fondness because he thinks Google is evil. And yeah, he's got a point. I mean, Google is big, and they make fairly evil decisions sometimes, even though their slogan is what? Don't be evil. Meliak says, I just got an email from YouTube tonight stating that they disabled 12 of my videos from monetization because I couldn't claim copyright. YouTube has really gone to crap. Wow. So it's not just me. Yeah, literally this week, all my Oxhorn movies, 56 of them, I've had them on YouTube for 5, 6, 7, sometimes almost 8 years in some cases. And I'm getting all these copyright claims. You know, Hark Hear the Whales? One of the very first music videos I ever did. The first music video I ever did. I sat in front of a camera, and I'm just like, Hark hear the whales, sad silver whales in Lordaeron, but they are gone. With just my voice. And somebody tried to claim that as their copyrighted material. So it's hugely annoying, and it's quite frankly pretty corrupt. Because I could be making money from all of the ads that are served on my YouTube videos right now, but I'm going to lose about 2 weeks worth of revenue just because somebody went and decided to claim my movies. So, Shawarma says your boss is a very intelligent man. Yeah, he actually is. He's a pretty smart guy. Shawarma says, I try not to watch YouTube anymore, but so many nitwits only post there. Alright, look, am I the only one that thought this? If you go to YouTube right now, the very first video that they're trying to promote is YouTube's 2013 video in review. And in that video, which was very nicely produced, I have to admit, they round up all of the major memes from 2013, like, what does the fox say? And then the whole, mother, father, gentleman, or whatever. You know, all of these songs on YouTube, do the Harlem Shake, right? All of these songs, they mash them up into one video. And I'm sitting here watching this video, and it's 5 to 6 minutes long, and it dawned on me. You know all of those sci-fi movies from the 80s and 90s where they predicted a future in like 2023, 2030, and the culture of the future that they predict is always ridiculous. They wear these crazy clothes and their hair is all up in weird things, and they play these strange musics and they have strange humor, and the TV shows are all really quick and lightning fast and they don't make much sense. I suddenly realized we're there. We are now living that future, right? I'm watching this video and there is no one who had without any kind of context who would understand what they were viewing. I mean, foxes going... I mean, we're there now. If you think about Fifth Element, play the Fifth Element and listen to some of the music and the radio stations and compare that with some of the Vine clips you see on YouTube. That's our life now. I'm just saying. Yeah. Look, I realize Autumn says, I never imagined Oxhorn saying, what does the fox say? Right, I am not in my own little world over here. I do have my tentacles and feelers probing the popular culture, trying to get material for blog posts and music and movies and whatever. So I do form opinions about some of the idiocy that I see around me. Shawarma says, wait 10 more years, Oxhorn, and you'll be terrified. I know. I thought, you know, I thought the future was going to be scary, but now I have a son, right? The future is even more terrifying to me. What is my boy going to be like when he's 16? What are the crazy things that he and his schoolmates are going to be watching on YouTube? What crazy music videos? I mean, you wouldn't think that it would be worse than Miley Cyrus hopping on a wrecking ball, licking a sledgehammer. I mean, that's pretty bad. But in 10 years, I can't even imagine what it's going to be. El Toro Guaco says, who'd have thought a movie would have Write Anything? The Fifth Element is a pretty crappy yet somehow entertaining B movie from the 90s. It really is. I actually really liked the Fifth Element. It was over-the-top cheesy, and yet so entertaining. Bruce Willis did a great job, and I don't know, it was very well cast, I think. Ironbark says, well, people will keep asking if you're Amish. Yeah. I'll probably be getting that the rest of my life. William Moore says, yes, I hate to use Google as they sell your information and searches to third parties, but in today's world, it's hard not to use Google products in this day and age. And that's very true. I was actually thinking about this at work, and everybody at our company, we have email addresses tied to our domain names, but we use Google products to use Gmail. It's basically Gmail wrapped in our own company brand. Our company social network is a Google Plus account. We've got Google App Engine running a lot of the analytics. We use Google Analytics. If suddenly our company decided to just cut ourselves off from Google, we would lose so much functionality. So on one hand, they're evil, and on the other, we depend on them for so much. Maybe that's why they're evil. Maybe we made them evil. Mr. 8ball says, we need more class in the world like STAT and private website for your movies/music and videos, and make them only accessible to Scotch and Smoke Rings fan club members. Can't claim what they don't have access to. I mean, yeah, there's that route, but then I wouldn't be able to monetize them and make money off of the ads. So, I mean, I can't hate YouTube too much. They've provided me a nice little monthly paycheck for many years now. So. Not going to hit on them too much. Steph Sarch says the music is too quiet. Okie doke. There you go. Dead sleep and we weep, no ringing. Bells on the ground through the city, quite a pity. I really enjoyed making this version. On they send to our dark end, chimes from the past are fading fast. Alright. Autumn says, Oxhorn, what did you think about the news of the NSA spying on World of Warcraft? Not surprised. Like, my shock happened with the first revelation of the NSA spying as much as they were. And I guess I shouldn't have been shocked. But now that I know that they're logging into World of Warcraft, yeah, of course they're logging into World of Warcraft. It's only natural. They're probably in any number of things. But I can tell you, they're not on Scotch and smoke rings. That's right. No NSA here. No secret microphones and wiretaps. What's that? Yes, Mr. President. Right. No, I won't go there, Mr. President. My apologies. No, please don't send your drones. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. All right. Sorry about that.
You numbskull, you're not supposed to tell him that you picked it out. Did you forget the secret in Secret Santa? Oh, sorry. No, it's great. Really, now I'll never smell bad anymore. Thanks, Matt. You're welcome. Okay, who's next? My turn, Boots. Boots, if we were poisoned from a
That's true. I suppose I never know who's in the chat. I could be being spied on by the NSA and I don't even know it. There's probably a microphone somewhere in my beard. Shadow Creep says, do you still have the RAWs of the videos the company is trying to claim? Because if you do, you can try to get them to show RAWs first. And if they can't show them, and you can, then you might have solid grounds to be on, really. Yes, I do. I am a pack rat. You see those hard drives over there? I have saved every scrap of everything I've ever made, including all my music, all my videos, all my source footage. But YouTube isn't sophisticated enough to let me show that. They don't, I mean, the way the dispute process works is they claim my material, I dispute it, and then they have 2 weeks to explain themselves. And if they simply say, yeah, this really is ours, then YouTube will just shut all my stuff down. And I don't have an option to show them why it's really mine. So, slightly awkward. Patrika changed her name to NSA Agent Patrika. Oh dear. NSA agents in the house, watch your tongues, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get into trouble. Ha! William Moore says, everyone who's not with the NSA, raise your hands. Okay, you're good, Ox. Yeah, that's good. Cheers to not being spied upon by the NSA. How's the lag, everybody? Yeah, my Hearthstone is still updating. I don't think we're going to be able to do Hearthstone tonight, ladies and gentlemen. After the show, I've got to order Christmas presents for my family. So, no Hearthstone tonight. Maybe sometime later this week as a secret special episode, or next Thursday. We'll see. Dayosh says, things seem good here. Things are indeed good here, good sir. We fine gentlemen and ladies are having a pleasurable evening, surrounded by gentlemanly company of the classiest sort. and good cigars. Chief Smash says, how about a quick smoke ring lesson? Absolutely. I do realize that there are newcomers to the show, so I'm happy to go through the basics with you. Do you guys remember when Mike Rosoft came on the show a few weeks ago? He picked it up so fast. Never smoked a cigar in his life. By the end of the show, after my fine teaching, he was blowing smoke rings like a pro. So here we go. Imagine that this is your tongue. This is the tip of your tongue. This is the base of your tongue. First, you bring the smoke into your mouth, then make a perfect circle with your lips. That's the hardest part, and it's the part most people fail at. Here's a perfect circle. Right? Make a perfect circle with your lips, then curl your tongue up and then flick it really quickly. It's going to push the smoke out, and it'll overlap the ring you make with your mouths, and you'll make a perfect ring. El Toro Guaco says, can you be a professional smoke ring maker? I wonder what that would earn you. I'd probably be shamed very quickly. I've seen videos of people smoking hookahs, for example, who can blast out some amazing smoke rings. Plus, volcanoes have me beat. That's right. Have you seen those videos of the volcanoes? Smoke rings coming out of them after an eruption? Yeah. Alas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We are going to blow a smoke ship. For those who are new to the program, at the end of every week, we create a smoke ship out of nothingness. So, what are your ideas? I will craft one based upon your suggestions. What would you like to see? Smoke Zeppelin? Smoke Submarine? Smoke Rowboat? Smoke Spaceship? William Moore has decided to craft a commercial for Scotch and Smoke Rings. He says, the smoke and smell, the sounds and sights, the class and dapperness, of course, and the Scotch and cigars, only on Scotch and Smoke Rings. Tune in, 7 o'clock, 8 Central.
The Nutcracker moved at a frightening pace when the goblin chased after it. Stop it! Stop the machine! Cried the goblin.
A smoked canoe, says Talander. All right. Smoked bacon, says Bob Saget. Interesting. William Moore says Oxhorn Nova and Baby Gavin on a Scotch-fueled bacon parade float, handing out free copies of How to Be a Gentleman and How to Be a Lady to all of the world's hipsters and hippie elves in hopes of raising the world's class factor and saving us from a tofu apocalypse. Every time, my friend, you've got these just stunners. Can it get better than that? We've got bacon, hippies, and even tofu. That's great. By the way, if you're ever having a big bowl of Vietnamese soup and you see cubes in it, you realize that's the tofu because it's such an unnatural shape. There is nothing in nature that creates cubes aside from, minerals. There's nothing organic. So that's, tofu should not be cubes. Ugh. Dayosh says, if you could make a landscape with snow-covered mountains in the background and then a lake in the foreground, that'd be nice. Interesting. I do like that. Shawarma says, Oxhorn in bed with a thermometer sticking from his mouth as he attempts to recover from the rest of the smoke ship has been edited by the NSA as being possible un-American activity. And shawarmas shall be relocated for re-education at the nearest FEMA camp immediately. Go about your business. Oh dear. The NSA have censored his smoke ship idea. We're in deep trouble. Mr. 8-Ball says, Oxhorn, Nova, and Gavin and his sibling on a Christmas tree smoke ship, flying mists of Pandaria pandas, roasting evil gnome ears on an open fire, while the NSA agent Autumn flies over the company stealing Oxhorn's vids, raining scotch. Nicely done. NSA agent Patricia says bacon-shaped rowboat with Oxhorn trying to paddle away with Google-made paddles, trying to escape the waves of YouTube, trying to claim his music and possibly his fans. Indeed. NSA agent Gulbreth, everyone's an NSA agent now, says members of the National Scotch Association, the NSA, flying a secretive bacon-wrapped battleship with Oxhorn and Chloron at the wheel, giving the order for all the fans to fire Panda Pizza cannons at false companies. Indeed. Doomageddon says Oxhorn and the gang on 3 ships on Christmas Day, firing bacon on elves and pandas. There's just a beautiful simplicity to that, is there not? Delana says, let's see, Gavin and Oxhorn on a canoe reading How to Be a Gentleman as a bedtime story while enjoying some scotch and bacon. I do see myself doing that a lot. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, fantastic ideas. I think I'm sold on Williams, the first one we read. It just had everything in it, so we're going to go ahead and do William Moore's. Pay attention, everybody. Don't blink, because if you do, you will miss it. But, here we go. One moment. Alright. I had to get my lungs clear for this one. Whoa! For the briefest of moments before your very eyes was the following diorama painted in nothing but the purest of cigar smoke. Oxhorn, Nova, and Baby Gavin were on a Scotch-fueled bacon parade float, handing out free copies of How to Be a Gentleman and How to Be a Lady to all of the world's hipsters and hippie elves in hopes of raising awareness. In hopes of raising the world's class factor and saving us all from the tofu apocalypse. Yep. That is as it happened, good sirs. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 229. Next week, episode 230. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. Lots of fantastic things yet to come this year, even though there are only a few weeks left. And we, of course, look forward to seeing you again in 2014. Talander says that he saw it and that it was beautiful. Indeed, you did, good sir. You've got good eyes. You've got good eyes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to this week's episode, and we will see you next week. Same Ox time, same Ox channel. A few more smoke rings before we go.
A shadow passed overhead, and Rudolph cowered down, shaking all over and covering his eyes. When at last he opened them, he saw before him a red sleigh.
NSA agent Steph Sarge says, Oxhorn, before you tune out, could you shout out to my friend Vasco? He's probably going to watch and replay, and since he's sick right now, he would be happy if you wished him to get well soon. Well, I empathize with your friend Vasco. I, too, am sick, so I pray that he gets well soon. And thank you all for coming, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, we will see you next week. Be sure, my friends, to stay classy.